JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, feud between diplomat and gunman town gangs leaves women dead. Kosher Park is in the grips of fresh tensions amid an escalating gang war that has sparked the killing of two women in a matter of days. Investigators theorize that the men who launched a deadly attack on sara-gaye Mason on Saturday targeted the wrong twin. Sleuths have linked that homicide and the murder of another woman, 40-year-old Shireen Pinnock, on Red Hills Road Tuesday, with the latter viewed as a possible reprisal. Keith Mason is ruined cruel fate after losing his 20-year-old daughter, sara-gaye, in a gun attack on Vereen Avenue about 5 p.m. Saturday. Sara-gaye, nicknamed Little, died leaving a 9-month-old infant. The baby is in the care and custody of the father. Sara-gaye was no longer a resident at Vereen Avenue, but was beckoned to the location by her sister. Whenever she comes, she always call her and tell her, say, "You know me reach up her daddy? You come over or what?" Mason said, adding, Sara-gaye was initially reluctant. Sara-gaye was described as a business-savvy and progressive woman who once had undergone training to become a nurse. The drama that unfolded was swift and calculated. The car transporting the gunman drove onto the cul-de-sac and parked before the shooter exited. The gunman walked up to Sara-gaye, who was seated in the company of two other females, and opened fire. Mason said he saw the car entering and heard the explosions, but had no idea that his daughter was the victim. "A that didn't give me for my Father's Day gift," he said sarcastically. "It's my baby. She not get no trouble. She not live no life yet," Mason said. It was revealed that the twin who was targeted barely cheated death by minutes. She had just left the yard to purchase scrap. Mason said she died on the spot after being shot repeatedly in her head. Their last conversation was about her promising him to come over and cook for him on Father's Day. Mason is the biological father of 3 girls and raised another he considers his own. He said the other twin is trying to cope. "You're going to hear a lot of things when things happen, you know. Some of them are just people make up things, because we grew up inside here and sometimes we hear things and nothing really no go so. We hear the talk and we hear other talk," a family friend said. Commander for the St. Andrews Central Police Division, Senior Superintendent Marlon Nesbeth, said that a feud had been raging between the diplomat and the gunman town gangs. The diplomat gang is primarily enclaved on Vereen Avenue and nearby areas, while the gunman town faction operates mainly along Red Hills Road. The girl that was shot and killed on Vereen Avenue, it is suggested it may have been orchestrated from the other side, Nesbeth said. The police said the leadership within the gang has some issues. "The fact is, she's the sister of someone who's connected to the diplomat gang, and it might be a case of mistaken identity. It was really that particular sister they wanted, but they got this one instead. Subsequent to that, there was a reprisal on Red Hills Road," Nesbeth said of the Pinnock murder. 3 others were injured in that incident. Mason, who has lived in Kosher Park for 38 years, said Sara-gaye was the first female to be killed in that section of the community during that time. Cousins shot and killed in Trelawney attack. Investigators attached to the Major Investigation Division in Trelawney are probing the murder of 2 cousins along Peel Street in Falmouth early this morning. The victims have been identified as Fabian Williams and Sheffon Williams, both Masons of Brownstown in St. Anne, but who were residing in Falmouth. It is reported that about 2:30 a.m., the men went to a shop to purchase items and were pounced upon by armed men while returning to a house where they were staying. The gunmen opened fire, hitting the men, and then escaped. The police were summoned, and upon arrival, both men were seen lying along a section of the roadway. They were rushed to the Falmouth Hospital, where they were pronounced dead. $7 million stolen from parked Audi. A man charged in connection to a $7 million robbery in downtown Kingston was denied bail in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court yesterday. Kevin Lee pleaded not guilty to charges of simple larceny and conspiracy to steal following an incident on February 12. It is alleged that Lee and his co-accused were seen using an object to break the driver's window of the complainant's 2018 Audi RS5 motor car and remove the package said to contain the cash. They then left the area on a motorbike. The co-accused pleaded guilty to simple larceny and conspiracy to steal at an earlier sitting of the court. Is to be sentenced on July 29. Lee's attorney Upton Marshall sought to apply for bail on his client's behalf. However, Chief Parish Judge Chester Crooks indicated that he was not minded to grant the request. Based on Lee's criminal records that were presented to the court yesterday, he is the subject of a suspended sentence and has another matter before the courts in which he is charged with conspiracy to rob and illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. In the latter matter, as a condition of his bail, Lee was ordered to report to the police 3 times weekly. Prosecutors contend that Lee committed the $7 million robbery while on bail. He was remanded in custody until July 20. Body of crab vendor found in Little London. The body of a crab vendor was found on Wednesday, June 22, along the Macemere Main Road in Little London, Westmoreland, with what appear to be gunshot wounds. The deceased man has been identified as 51-year-old Wayne Grant of Crowder District, Grange in the parish. Reports from the police's corporate communications unit are that Grant left his home on Tuesday about 5:30 p.m. with the intention of catching crabs. Residents came upon his lifeless body at about 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday along an embankment and summoned the police. Investigations are ongoing, the police said. Statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force show that up to June 20, Westmoreland recorded 69 murders since the start of the year, when compared to 48 for the corresponding period last year. Court orders police to return books of high school girl held with gun. A High Court judge on Wednesday ordered that the police return school books that were seized from the 15-year-old girl who was allegedly found with an illegal gun in her school bag earlier this month. The high school student and her stepfather, a security guard of a Windward Road address in Kingston 16, were arrested and charged with illegal possession of a firearm and ammunition. The gun was reportedly found in the girl's school bag at a vehicular checkpoint in Rockfort, Kingston on June 6. When the teenager appeared in court on Wednesday, her attorney Caroline Reed Cameron made an application for her books to be returned as she needed them to prepare for exams. Justice Anne-Marie Lawrence Granger ordered that the books be returned to the girl, whose bail was extended until June 28. It is alleged that the teenager has given the police conflicting reports about how she came to be in the possession of the gun. Over 300 illegal guns seized this year, says Chang. Since the start of the year, more than 376 illegal guns and over 7,511 assorted rounds of ammunition have been seized by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, made the revelation during the recent launch of a United Nations program to reduce small and lightweight weapons in the country. On Friday, June 17, Jamaica officially became one of 2 countries to benefit from a 12-month pilot program which has been funded by the Saving Lives entity, Salient Fund, operated by the UN. Speaking at the recent launch of the project in Montego Bay, St. James, Dr. Chang explained that the proliferation of illegal firearms, their parts and ammunition, has been a major contributing factor to an increase in murders across the island. The proliferation of firearms, resulting in increased access in Jamaica, is a direct catalyst of murders committed when mixed with a propensity for violence among criminal gangs in environments that engender poor dispute resolution, the minister explained. While expressing appreciation for silent support, particularly in the communities of Norwood and Denham Town, the minister further explained that firearms such as handguns have been weapon of choice or major crimes in Jamaica, citing murders committed from June 1 to June 17, 2022. Statistics provided by the JCF indicate that over 680 murders have been committed since the start of the year. Chung noted that pistols and revolvers are the most frequently recovered firearms as they are preferred by criminals for flexibility, concealability, price, and access to ammunition. Last year, approximately 342 guns and over 4,934 pieces of assorted ammunition were seized. According to the minister, the issue of firearms proliferation can be separated into supply-side and demand-side issues. Consultations with the contraband enforcement team of the Jamaica Customs Agency revealed that transnational factors significantly impact the demand and supply of guns across the country. He added that Jamaica does not produce guns locally, and as such, all guns present in the country made their way through either official or unofficial points of entry. Guns are smuggled through official ports of entry by breaking them down into parts among shipments, which are then more difficult for officials to detect. Additionally, the poor state of the borders makes it difficult to police due to numerous unofficial points of entry, and the issue is further compounded by corruption, said Dr. Chang. He further pointed out that while law enforcement has successfully tracked and apprehended illegal gun holders, some of whom are now convicted felons, the sparsity in convictions in comparison to the retrieval of illegal guns has prompted the government to revise its strategic response to the illicit gun trade. This, he says, is a contributing factor to an influx in gender-based violence, particularly femicide by firearm. We anticipate training and support from the UN for the development and adoption of policies on addressing the use and possession of firearms in school settings to foster the consolidation of an interinstitutional working group at the national level, said Dr. Chang, pointing to the importance of other initiatives that support ending violence against women and girls. The security minister also spoke of the guns or drugs trade in the region, stating that the trade extends to using guns as payment for food and other goods in Jamaica, Central America, and Haiti. Salient, which is aligned to Jamaica's national development goals, serves to enhance Jamaica's legislative and institutional framework to regulate access to small arms, their parts, components, and ammunition. A bill to replace and repeal the Firearms Prohibition, Restriction and Regulation Act is currently before the Joint Select Committee of Parliament. The new bill is targeted at ensuring greater prohibition, restriction and regulation of firearms and ammunition, and for connected matters. Several corporate area communities to go without water this weekend. A number of communities in the corporate area will be without water for 3 days starting Friday, as the National Water Commission NWC contractors carry out the final phase of connecting new pipelines along Spanish Town Road in Kingston. Work is scheduled to begin at 8 a.m. and end 10 p.m. Sunday. The NWC says the areas to be affected are Corville Gardens and New Haven, Marcus Garvey Drive, Spanish Town Road, Washington Gardens, and sections of downtown Kingston, including Charles Street, North Street, and Tivoli Gardens. According to a statement from the utility company, it is exploring the possibility of providing relief supplies to some areas for several hours on Saturday. However, this will be possible for areas situated between Weymouth Drive and downtown Kingston. 138 new COVID cases, 1 death. Jamaica's COVID positivity rate increased to 23.1% amid 138 new COVID-19 cases recorded over a 24-hour period up to Wednesday afternoon. A COVID-19 death that occurred in September 2021 was also recorded on Wednesday, bringing the overall coronavirus death toll in Jamaica to 3,107. An 81-year-old man from Portland is the latest recorded COVID fatality nationally. There were 122 recoveries on the day, bringing that tally to 90,302. The newly confirmed COVID-19 cases brought the total number on record for the island to 142,011. Notably, the 23.1% positivity rate was based on the samples that were tested on Wednesday. Of the newly confirmed cases, 91 are females and 47 are males, with ages ranging from 1 to 92 years. The case count was made up of Kingston and St. Andrew 48, St. Catherine 36, Westmoreland 14, Portland 10, St. James 8, Clarendon 6, St. Anne 5, St. Elizabeth 5, St. Thomas 2, St. Mary 2, Manchester 1, and Trelawney 1. There are 28 moderately ill patients, 11 severely ill patients, and 3 critically ill patients among 1,728 active cases now under observation in Jamaica. There are 115 COVID-19 patients now hospitalized locally. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.